KP's Video News in the Funk Groove.
That's right, it's KP's Video News and the Funk Groove, y'all. Yes, sir. And we're going to dive right in on the news right quick on this Wednesday, April 29th. And this story here kind of touches close to home because I do have a relative that works as a TSA employee. And I can say that she's doing good right now. But this has to do with some of her comrades over there. And it's 500 TSA employees have tested positive for COVID-19. And so this is a story that just came out a couple of hours ago. And it said those TSA Transportation Security Administration said that 500 employees who work in U.S. airports have tested positive for COVID-19, a disease caused by the novel coronavirus. Of the workers who have tested positive for the respiratory disease, 208 have experienced a full recovery and 4 have died. The figures do not account for TSA employees who have limited interaction with the public. Most of the confirmed COVID-19 cases include staff employed at airports in the New York metropolitan area, according to data provided by the agency at John F. Kennedy International Airport. 105 employees have tested positive for the virus, while 56 workers at Newark Liberty International have tracked the disease. 32 TSA employees at LaGuardia have also tested, and outside of New York, the highest number of confirmed TSA staff is Louis Armstrong International Airport in New Orleans, where 27 TSA people have tested positive. TSA has made a number of adjustments at airport screening areas amid the outbreak, including regular cleaning and disinfecting its facilities. The agency said that it was also issuing N95 respirator masks and eye protection to employees. TSA did not immediately respond to requests for comment on the latest infection data from the Hill. At the outbreak of the coronavirus upended air travel around the world, leading to a dramatic reduction in domestic and international flights. Airports continue to operate at reduced capacity. And I was just talking with my roving reporter Karen out of Los Angeles yesterday about flying, and she'd asked me if I would fly anytime soon, and the answer is absolutely no. No. So on with this second part of this is that officials in Wisconsin found that at least 36 people who tested positive for COVID-19 voted in person during the April 7th election. And if you people don't remember that, that was you had and one of the officials in I think it might have been one of the senators or somebody in the state government in Wisconsin kept complaining about the vote, and basically forced people to go out and vote in person when they could have voted. They could have voted, just in paper ballots and mail-in ballots, but this one person made it so difficult to where they just came up with and just voted on it, and it's like, okay, well, we're going to have people come and vote in person rather than doing it by mail. Now, it said officials in Wisconsin found at least 36 people who have tested positive for coronavirus voted in person during the state's April 7th election. A spokeswoman for the Wisconsin Department of Health Services said that not all the people identified in the state's contact tracing program were necessarily infected by the election due to a major shortage of poll workers. Milwaukee, a city of over 500,000 people, which usually has 180 polling locations, operated with just 5 on election day, creating hours-long waits to vote. So let me say that again. Milwaukee, a city of 500,000 people, which usually has over 180 polling place locations operated with just 5 polling places on that particular day, and people had to wait in line for hours to vote. Democratic Governor Tony Evers made multiple last-minute attempts to move to an all-mail election or postpone it altogether, all of which were blocked either by Republicans in the state legislature or by courts. Officials in Wisconsin found that at least 36 people who tested positive for COVID-19 voted in person during the state's April 7th election. Milwaukee's health commissioner, Janet Kowalski, said that 6 of the cases involved voters who cast ballots in person on election day, while the other case was a poll worker who was infected. The cases were linked to the election through contact tracing methods. Jennifer Miller of the Wisconsin Department of Health Services told that the state's contact tracers have now found that 36 people who tested positive on since April 7th have voted in person, she noted. However, that some of the people may have been exposed by other means and were not necessarily infected by direct contact with the election. You know, they're throwing a little twist out there, and Supreme Court decision effectively left voters who had not yet received their absentee ballots with a difficult choice: either risk their health to wait in long lines to vote in person or not vote at all. And if you remember, those same Republicans that were made those people go out and vote, they all lost. So, the people said, "Oh, you're gonna make us go out and vote, huh? In person. So therefore, here, take this. You out of a job." And this is here's case number 3: proof of citizenship for voter registration unlawful. This happened in Kansas. The Federal Appeals Court panel ruled today that a Kansas law requiring proof of citizenship to register to vote is unconstitutional, upholding a judge's injunction that had banned its use. The 10th Circuit Court of Appeals panel found in 2 consolidated appeals challenging the Kansas statute that the state law violates the Equal Protection Clause in the National Voter Registration Act. The panel upheld the permanent injunction that U.S. District Judge Julie Robinson had imposed, prohibiting enforcement of the requirement. So therefore, they're already, here they go. They're already trying to disrupt the vote. They're already trying, and so far this particular judge is like, "Oh no, you're not going to get away with that one." So they held that injunction in place, and it's a permanent injunction that can't be changed. Okay, here we go with this last one is part 4, and it's a California police officer under investigation after viral video shows him punching a 14-year-old boy. California police officer is being investigated for just that, punching a 14-year-old boy while attempting to detain him, in a video that went viral. The video posted yesterday on Twitter shows an officer with Rancho Cordova Police Department on top of the boy, pinning him down and punching him repeatedly in the chest, while someone in the background can be heard saying, "Stop." The Twitter user, who identified herself as the boy's sister, wrote alongside the 15-second clip, "My baby brother was 14 years old. All of this over a swisher. There's more footage, but I wasn't able to upload it all." In another tweet, she added, "My brother has a serious heart condition that could be triggered very easily by being hit in his chest and back. He's a kid and has never been in any kind of trouble with the law. He was very scared and in so much pain." And other videos posted on Instagram by Justin Tufano, who said he was the boy's uncle. The boy can be heard telling the officer, I wasn't fighting. Tufano added, "I remember telling him a while back that he may be half black, but the world will just see him as black, and that he has to walk and experience the world in a different way. Didn't expect him to experience it this soon and this early." The boy's family have been contacted for additional comment. And after the video was widely shared, the Rancho Cordova Police Department issued a statement saying the police department and the Sacramento sheriffs are investigating the incident. And so, you know, the deputy lost sight of the adult who left the area, then approached the juvenile for further. Said Detarney said the officer had been patrolling the area of Mill Station Road and Matherfield Road on Monday after complaints of alcohol, tobacco, and drug sales to minors when he saw what he believed to be a hand-to-hand exchange between an adult and a juvenile. The deputies lost sight of the adult who left the area, then approached the juvenile for further investigation. The 14-year-old boy, he claimed, was uncooperative and refused to give out basic ID information. And the deputy attempted to maintain control of the juvenile without his handcuffs while alone waiting for his partners to arrive and assist him. Said the boy was cited after the officer recovered tobacco products and released to his guardians, but didn't reveal details of any charges. The woman who said she was the boy's sister said he had been charged over resisting arrest and for possession of a Swisher Sweet, a brand of cigar. But what was he even being arrested for? Having a Swisher, and they ended up letting him go. So what was all of this for? He was left with scratches and chest pains, and this was also unnecessary, totally unnecessary. And she had this type of situation is hard on everyone. The young man, the officer, who would much rather have him cooperate. And that's just another case of another black kid being manhandled and beat by a grown man, by a cop. You know, a child, 14-year-old child getting beat up by a grown man. And every time, it's time and time again, the cops they always get away with it. Every single time it happens when it's a minority person involved. It seems like this madness has got to stop. You talk about in the middle of everybody's dealing with the whole coronavirus issue, and it's it's a terrible situation. It's a terrible situation.
But it's KP's Video News in the Funk Groove.